When you walk into a model home for the first time to look at home builders, it is the sales agent's job to sell you a product and an experience within that model home. These sales agents are highly trained on sales tactics, as well as making you believe that there is some sort of urgency and that you need to act now when building a new construction home. So today I'm going to go over the 5 main gimmicks I see with new home sales consultants. For those of you new here, my name is Danielle. I'm a realtor in Houston, and I post almost daily videos about practical information you need when relocating to Houston. I try not to make my videos overly fluffy or overly produced, and I just try to keep it straight to the value. If you're moving here and would like assistance, feel free to message me. I would love to help you. The first one I want to talk about is urgency. When you walk into the sales agent's office, the goal for them is to not only keep you there for as long as possible, but to make you believe that the opportunity they have is very limited. They're going to use tactics like saying that the lots they have left are very limited. Keep in mind that builders usually only release so many lots within a section at once to make it feel like there's not a whole lot of opportunity. Another thing they'll use to make sure that you know that there's some urgency is that they were talking to another couple before you came in that are interested in the same lot or the same section or the same house, whatever. There's always someone else that's interested. And honestly, I can kind of tell when they actually have someone and when they don't, because when they genuinely have someone, they will usually say, that's not available, I'm just waiting for their earnest money. But if they say something like, oh, I have another couple interested in it, but if you put it down first, then you can have it, they probably don't have anyone. Another way they use a sense of urgency is to tell you that they don't know how long the current incentives they have will last or what the next ones will be. Now, there is some sort of truth to that. Usually builders only know the incentives that they have right now, and they usually don't know what will come next, but they're going to tell you that what they have right now is going to be better than what they're going to get in the future, and it very well could be the opposite. Either way, it's kind of a gamble when you're looking at new construction home, but I can assure you eventually they'll have another promotion, another section, or there'll be another builder that has comparable incentives. So don't feel like this urgency is that urgent. The second one I want to talk about is negotiations and incentives, and this is a big one. Generally, there's a few different types of incentives. Builders will send a big marketing blast to the email letting you know what their monthly incentive is. Occasionally, when you walk into the sales agent's office, there might be an additional incentive on their quick move-ins, like a price reduction that may not be on the MLS. The truth is that it's really hard to truly negotiate with a builder, because the thing is that the builder already has incentives, and then they have secondary incentives, and then they have the incentives that they can use to make you feel like you're getting a deal. And that's usually the incentives that people think they're negotiating with the builder, but the builder has already thought about all of that. If you're going to negotiate, your best chance is on quick move-ins. It costs builders a lot of money for every 30 days that they hold a completed home. So that is the one instance where I think that you can negotiate and you can get a good deal. But as far as building from a lot, you're going to pay a premium. Another way they'll get you to act on the incentives really fast or to close the deal is to tell you that the incentives are expiring, or that they're only valid for the rest of the week, or that they're going to change the incentives. Very similar to how they give a sense of urgency, they do the same thing with negotiation and incentives. It really is helpful to have a realtor with you when you are talking to a home builder, because they know the home builder tactics and they know how to ask for incentives and additional credits and what to ask for and what not to ask for to get you the best deal, even if it is already a built-in deal. Number 3, similar to urgency, is that they will try to keep you there for as long as possible. When I have a full day of showings with my buyers and we are looking at new construction and resale, I make sure to show them all the resale in the beginning of the day, and I try to show them the builder's quick move-ins before we ever go to the model home or talk to the sales agent, because I know that we will end up being there for 1 to 3 hours, and maybe even with just a single builder. Their goal is to keep you there for as long as possible, to show you around the model home, to get you into the car and go show you all their quick move-ins, and just to talk to you as much as you can to build that rapport so that they can close the deal. The longer you spend with that sales agent, the more likely you're going to close a deal with them. Number 4 is limited availability, and I have done many videos about how new construction construction does have a lot of inventory and a lot of lots available and a lot of permits pulled. However, they do only release so many lots in a section at once because they have to keep the demand up so that they can keep increasing the pricing and the competition. But what they're going to do is tell you that they have limited availability, that their section is about to close out, and that they don't know when they're going to get their next section. And while some of that may be true, the point is that they will get another section. So if your timeline is not urgent, like within the next 30 days, then you probably have time to keep looking or to look at all the builders before making a decision. The truth is that we have hundreds of master plan communities here. We have lots of sections, we have lots of builders, lots, all of it. So if they are running out, there is opportunity. The rare time, like if it's a master plan community in closeout and most builders have already stopped building, then yes, that is a little bit of an urgency. But if it's a brand new community that just started and has 7 more years to go, you probably have a little bit of time, more time than they're telling you. They'll also tell you that they have waiting lists of like 20 to 40 people for the new section that is opening. While that might be true, if it is going to take 1 to 3 months for that section to open, by the time it opens, a lot of buyers have already moved on. So again, if there is a waiting list, especially in a market like today, you probably will be able to select from that area once those lots open. Design center premiums. When you sign the contract, the sales agent is definitely going to gloss over how much the design center and showroom is actually going to cost you. On average, my buyers spend about 4 to 7% more than the base price, and that's pretty conservative depending on the price point. But generally, whatever the sales agent tells you how much the flooring and stuff is going to cost, I would add in a little bit extra cushion because they really do try to make it seem like you're not going to spend that much more than you're spending there today, and it can get really stressful and overwhelming once you do go through the build process on how much more it actually costs. But again, the sales agent goal in that moment is to get you to sign the contract before you go to the design center to actually put in all the money to make the home the way you want it. All in all, do not feel threatened about the new sales agent's tactics and do not feel like you have to make a decision today. Again, these sales agents have been heavily trained in sales tactics. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe as it helps the algorithm know this is good information. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.